Let me start with the Losi Super Rock Ray 2. And honestly, the first thing that hits you is the sheer size of this machine. This is a 1/6 scale replica of a real Vantil Industries vehicle, which means it carries that authentic, licensed look that immediately sets it apart from generic RC trucks. Under the body sits a Spectrum Firma Smart 8S brushless motor, which is the kind of power plant that makes you respect the machine before you even switch it on. The Super Rock Ray chassis gives it a rock-solid foundation, and those licensed beadlock wheels look absolutely stunning. What really impressed me, though, was the 9-centimeter ground clearance. That is not a small number on a vehicle this size. Combined with a design that allows for incredibly quick battery changes, this machine is built for people who want more runtime and less downtime. You swap the battery fast, you get back to the action. Simple as that. From there, we move to something that feels almost intimidatingly capable. The Arrma Outcast 154WD is the kind of RC vehicle that makes you wonder who exactly gave someone permission to build this thing. It features a solo body sitting on top of an aluminum chassis, surrounded by a proper roll cage and a roof rack. That combination alone tells you this vehicle was engineered to take punishment and keep moving. But the detail that genuinely blew my mind was the rear wheelie bar. It expands the vehicle's departure angle by a full 90 degrees, which means this machine can climb over and away from obstacles that would trap anything else. And if all of that were not enough, it pushes 88 kilometers per hour on an RC vehicle. That speed, combined with that durability, creates something that feels almost unfair to everything else on this list. Now, if you have ever dreamed about what it would feel like to pilot a proper desert racing buggy, the Losi Tenacity DB Pro 4WD is your answer. This machine is built on the 10 platform with a 3mm high-strength chassis plate that gives it the rigidity it needs to handle serious desert terrain at serious speeds. It offers Spectrum Firma motor options depending on how much power you want, and it can push past 80 kilometers per hour when you really open it up. But what I find most compelling is the suspension system. It is highly adjustable, meaning you can tune this buggy specifically to the terrain you are running on. That level of customization turns every session into something personal. This is not just an RC car you drive. It is one you actually set up and dial in, and that process is genuinely satisfying. The Axial SCX-10-3, also known as the MG10, takes a completely different approach. Instead of speed or raw power, this one is about detail, realism, and capability on demanding terrain. It draws inspiration from heavy-duty expedition trucks, and that influence is visible in every design choice. The 1.9 military MW19 wheels and MT45 tires give it an aggressive, purposeful stance. A redesigned transmission and a 6mm gear lift increase ground clearance meaningfully. But what really makes the SCX-10-3 special is how carefully crafted the interior and exterior are. This is a machine you could display proudly before you ever put it on a trail. And when you do take it out, it handles that rugged expedition terrain exactly the way its inspiration would suggest. Right alongside it in terms of attention to detail sits the Axial Capra 1.9. And this one has a character all its own. The tubular chassis is not just durable, it looks incredible. It has that raw, built-for-purpose aesthetic that serious RC enthusiasts genuinely love. Curry F9 portal axles give it enhanced ground clearance, and the Nitto Trail Grappler tires grip terrain with authority. The 3-piece Raceline wheels add another layer of visual authenticity. Then there is the roof lighting, which completely transforms the experience when you are running it in low-light conditions. And through the windows, you can see a detailed interior that rewards anyone who takes a closer look. The Capra 1.9 is the kind of RC vehicle that makes you stop and appreciate the craft behind it. Then comes the Traxxas Summit, and this one carries a different kind of energy entirely. It is heavy-duty in the most satisfying way possible. The Titan 775 motor paired with an EVX 2-speed control gives it dependable, consistent power across all kinds of terrain. Remote locking differentials let you adapt on the fly, switching between modes depending on what the ground beneath you is demanding. The sealed battery compartment means you are protected from the elements, which matters when you are taking this machine through mud or wet ground. And the 10 LED lighting system turns nighttime runs into something genuinely cinematic. At speeds over 32 kilometers per hour, the Summit is not the fastest machine on this list, but it is one of the most complete and capable all-around performers here. The team-associated GS2F Buffalo earns its place on this list through one thing above everything else, and that is realism. The steel chassis alone tells you this vehicle was built to a different standard. The adjustable wheelbase, which runs from 313 millimeters all the way to 324, means you can configure it for different body styles and driving situations. The 2-speed gearbox is where it gets genuinely clever though. First gear is tuned specifically for rock crawling, giving you that slow, controlled, precise movement over technical surfaces. Second gear opens things up for climbing or faster driving. That flexibility in a single machine is rare, and the Buffalo uses it brilliantly. The RC4 WD Trailfinder 2 Grand Edition is a 1/10 scale replica that approaches everything with a philosophy of quality first. The RC 550 motor provides reliable power, and the remotely adjustable transmission gives you control over how that power gets delivered. What defines this machine, though, is the steel frame. It is robust in a way that feels almost overbuilt, and that is a compliment. The fully protected electronics mean dust and debris cannot get inside and cause problems, which is exactly what you need when you are running this on real trails. This is a machine built to last and built to be trusted. The Kyosho Fazer Mk2 brings something to this list that none of the others offer, and that is the experience of building it yourself. This is a 1/10 scale replica of an American van, sold as a kit, meaning assembly is part of the journey. You construct this machine piece by piece, and by the time you are finished, you know every part of it intimately. Once it is built, it handles sand and mud with genuine capability. But honestly, the build process itself is where a huge part of the value lives. There is a real sense of pride that comes from driving something you assembled with your own hands. Closing out this incredible lineup is the Axial Speed XS2, and it saves one of the most fascinating engineering details for last. Lift the hood, and you will find a V8 aluminum alloy engine sitting right there, fully visible, meticulously detailed. It is paired with a 2-speed transmission, and the adjustable shock angles and variable steering geometry mean this vehicle can be tuned with real precision. The fact that it is sold in 2 separate parts, the chassis with electronics and the body independently, gives enthusiasts the freedom to customize and mix things up in ways most RC vehicles simply do not allow. The XS2 rewards curiosity and rewards the kind of person who genuinely loves digging into the details of what makes a machine work.